So Tiff,
Welcome.
where are we?
We are in La Cañada, great school district here. We got an open house day. Come check it out.
So here we are in La Cañada, and today I wanted to make a video about open house etiquette. And when I talk about open house etiquette, I don't just mean for potential buyers of a property. I also mean for us as agents, the things that we are doing. I'm sitting here in the back with my hat because it's very sunny today. But what I'm really doing is I'm observing the buyers. And I want to talk about kind of some important points about open housing that I think are often missed. So today we're in La Cañada, as Tiff said, at our new listing 442 Olivetta. And I wanted to do this video today because I think open house etiquette is a very interesting and important topic, both for brokers and for buyers. And a lot of people conduct their open houses certain ways, and a lot of different ways work. I want to talk about kind of my views on open houses. And I also want to talk about important pointers for buyers. So let's get into it. So the first thing that's important at an open house, in my opinion, is your presentation. Usually we stage houses unless there is a reason. In this instance, this house is not staged, but it has been very much decluttered, minimized, so that the house shows as well as it can be shown, because you want it to look large, you don't want the clutter to detract from it, and you want people to focus on the important things. It's my associate Tiffany back here, as you saw at the beginning. And the important things about this property are, it is a beautiful traditional home in a fantastic neighborhood, fantastic school district, and it has a great lot. Lot's about 9,100 square feet. So we try to set this up so that people can focus on it. It's not a huge house, it's under 1,700 square feet, but it is a very nice house. And I think with some modernizing changes, it can be really great. So just kind of give you a little tour here so you can kind of get a vibe for what we're talking about. And then as you come out here, what's important about the house, so we open up these plantation shutters, don't want it to look dark. When you come through the house, you can see the yard first thing. That's one of my big things with houses. I really like when you can go into the front door and see the backyard kind of come out. It has a nice flow to it. And I mean, it's a gorgeous Southern California day, a beautiful mature olive tree. What more could a buyer want? And yesterday we were open on Saturday. We had about 50 groups, which is a lot of people for an open house, but it's a very, 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 very popular neighborhood. And you can see why, and you get the San Gabriel Mountains in the background here. It's just gorgeous. So this house has just a tremendous amount of potential, and we want to showcase it the right way. As you can see from the backyard, you can see the front, got a white picket fence. It's just a really, really cute house. So we talked a little bit about presentation. The presentation also extends to what kind of materials we're putting out here. Now, we always do a website for our listings, and this one is no different. You go to www.442olivetta.com. You can take a look at all the marketing materials, from the bedroom bathroom count to square footage of the house to lot size, pictures. We have a video on there, and then we also always do a floor plan. So we have a floor plan there, and we have a 3D walkthrough. So this is how we always present our properties. And we're actually running out of flyers because we had such a busy open house on Saturday. We should have printed more, but that's okay. We have all the information on the website, and when people ask, we give them the website and they go there to look at what they need to look at. Okay, so we got through presentation. Now we're going to talk about kind of how I do open houses, a little bit of listing agent etiquette. I generally am not one for the hard sell or the tour of the property. I like to hang back and kind of observe the buyers and be here for questioning, or for questions, I should say. I always like to have another person from my office here. Tiff is really sweet. She's easy on the eyes.
She's an icon. She's a legend, and she is the moment.
Greets them and gets them set up with the flyer and gets them set up with, basic questions about the house. Generally, the person I bring with me to an open house probably doesn't know the property as well as I do, but is definitely capable of answering basic questions about the property. I have more knowledge about the property, whether that might be zoning, usage, history, conditions. So I'm here to answer that sort of thing. That's how I like to set this up. Other agents are different. I've seen agencies have 3 different associates here at a property. I've seen 1, and no one way is wrong. I just like to have 2 people here. I also like to have 2 people here because the owner's belongings are here, so we can monitor and make sure nothing's being taken. Not that anything would be taken at an open house, but it does happen. So we like to do this that way. As far as, my style in terms of kind of coming to the open house and wearing a suit or wearing, jeans and a button down, it depends on the day. Usually for the first open, I'll dress up a little bit more. It's very hot today in LA. So today I'm just wearing a button down and jeans, and I'm wearing my sun hat because it is close to 80 degrees, if you can believe that, on a February day or late February day in the winter, which is pretty wild. So, I like to be comfortable. You definitely want to look appropriate, but I don't think you have to wear a suit and tie at every open. The important thing about the open house for me is this is an interview for the buyers. This is the first part. Your body language, the things you say, your questions you ask matters. I am looking for the best buyer with the best terms and the best price. And I'm not just looking for one of those things, I'm looking for all 3 of those. So as I said, I don't like to do the hard sell at the open house. I like to kind of sit back and observe. As you can see, I'm kind of situated here. Tiff's there ready to greet people. I can see the front door. I can see who's coming in. We keep a count. I actually even have a little bouncer counter that we use, which I don't have on me today. But we really keep track of who's coming in and out. If they have an agent, we have their card. We want to know who's interested in the property. So 1, if they're not represented, we can reach back out to them. But 2, we want to get the feedback for the property so we kind of have an understanding of where things are going to shake out when it comes offer time. In a little more detail, I want to talk about what I mean by buyer etiquette and things to do and things not to do. So things to do that are really important it is really important to introduce yourself to the listing agent. Sometimes the person there is not the listing agent. As I said, Tiffany's here. She's not the listing agent. She's on my team. I am the listing agent, and I'm the person with the most knowledge about the property. So you want to go to that person and you want to introduce yourself. You want to be memorable in a nice way, and you want to make sure that you get all your questions asked without asking questions that are going to raise red flags with me, like I would be concerned about going into contract with them. For example, I had someone come in yesterday to this house and just started picking it apart, and very nitpicky, silly comments that showed a lack of understanding of how this process works and what they're up against when they want to buy this property. Chances are we will have multiple offers on this property. They will be above ask. And this guy is clearly trying to angle for some sort of, lower price offer, thinking he knows about construction and real estate and all this. And it's just a bad look. It marks him forever with me when I have him coming in versus I have a nice family who comes in, who asks the right questions about the school district, who tells me they're pre-approved, tells me they're working with a local agent that I know. And it's very telling. My partner Josh always likes, when people, when it's kind of like when people bring their dad and their measuring tape to an open house, that's the kiss of death. Just run. But unfortunately, people do that. And instead of putting their best face forward, like this is a date or an interview, they put their worst, and it costs them. We do not like to fall out of escrow. It does happen. But in order to guard against that, one of the reasons I am here is to really watch people's body language, listen to their questions, see who really understands the process, understands the property. Because again, I want to find the best buyer, not just a buyer. Another important thing that I think that is often overlooked by buyers is pay attention to the traffic at the open house. When you're at an open house, the traffic will dictate the likelihood of multiple offers. And something I do, especially if I have time, is I will show up early to an appointment, watch the traffic, maybe 10 minutes before, and then usually, if we like the property, we'll stick around and we'll watch the traffic for another 10 minutes. Because you want to really, in a multiple offer environment, which is what we are in, not quite non-contingent because you still can have inspection contingencies, but for the most part, loan and appraisal contingencies are taken out of contracts. You want to know that you're putting your best offer forward initially and not waiting to be included in the round of counters, because that inclusion may never come. I'm of the mindset, and you'll see this in offer deadline email that you need to come in hard and hot with your best offer on every property you bid on in LA. One, there's just too much competition. There really is. I mean, we are regularly writing offers on properties that are getting double digit offers, and the offers that they're getting are solid. They're great financials, great terms, and there are a lot of good options for people. So you got to stand out. In order to stand out, you need to really kind of get a flavor for what's going on. So I will stay here. Yesterday, we had a huge open, about 50 groups. Today, even before the open started, we had 3 groups waiting for us. Today's open, I expect to be a little bit less just because we had such a big open yesterday, but I still expect it to be strong. So another thing that you're looking for when you're at an open house is you're kind of trying to figure out who you're dealing with. And one of the ways I analyze that is by seeing what kind of car they pull up. I know that's kind of a silly thing, but if I see someone pull up in a Ferrari for a family house, I gotta think that maybe they're not the right buyer. So in conclusion, because we're getting really busy here, I gotta go. Everyone does their open houses differently. I don't think there's just one size fits all, but there is one size fits all in terms of your approach as a buyer, and that is be memorable in a good way and make sure you understand that this is an interview process and you want to be the most likable person you can in your pursuit of this property so that you can secure the home. So with that, thank you, like and subscribe. We'll talk soon.